Me and Sophie are about to start our morning walk. And I'm not a great video person, but I'll try to go over most of it. I have her on my convertible leash. Let's see. That clips around my shoulder and clips to her to get her a little bit used to being on a shorter leash. And then I'll always start my walk before the door by having her sit. She doesn't have a stay command yet, but I'll just, if she breaks out of it, I'll just put her into a sit again. Sophie, let's go. Sit. So I'm training her with her breakfast this morning. So this is badly timed, but yes. Good girl. Sophie, sit. So we don't go anywhere until she sits. Nope. And this is where I transfer the food reward to the outdoor reward. Good sit. Sit. No. She's very much looking forward to it. Sit. Good girl. Okay, break. Right. Sophie, sit. No. No. So no means that's not what I'm looking for. Sophie. Good girl. Yes. So with the young puppies, I'll bribe when I have to. Stay. She doesn't go stay. And then before we go, so anytime she pulls on me, I stop too. Especially since she's going to be walked by someone who's on a wheelchair. Sophie. Sophie, let's go. Good girl, sit. Yes. Okay, now we can go. Let's go. So let's go just means come towards me. So the things that intrigue Sophie the most are the snow. She'll try to dart towards there. The mud right now. And what else? Oh, twigs, sticks, piney needles, anything like that. So we'll start our walk. Sophie. So like I said, she pulls, I stop. Good girl. See how she let the slack into the leash again? Let's go. So right there is nice. Sorry about my erratic walking here. It's hard to walk and keep the camera on Sophie at the same time. We're going through some slush. I didn't wear the best shoes for this until I get onto the mud there. Oh. So on ice, obviously, I want her to be walking with me. Good girl, Sophie. You're a good girl. And when she looks up at me like that, good girl, Sophie. I let her know that I appreciate that. She's a little bit behind me right now. There we go. Put a little pressure on the leash. I'm just going to stop. So the reward to go forward does not happen until she takes the pressure off the leash. So obviously when you're training a puppy to do this, you can't be in any kind of rush to get to a specific destination. And if she goes in front of me, I just gently pull her to the side. You'll probably want her walking on one side. Oh, the other thing that distracts Sophie is cars. Sometimes she's scared of them, sometimes she wants to chase them. And when you take a puppy out, you want to make sure her flat collar's on her nice and tight so she can't accidentally pull out of it. Especially during those temper tantrums that I mentioned. Okay, she took... Nope. Now, don't let her drink puddles, by the way. Especially in the city. There's probably chemicals in them that you don't want her ingesting. Could potentially kill her or just make her very sick. Go. See, Sophie's learning to walk nicely on a leash. You know, as a young, growing puppy, she wants to... No, sit. Anytime she jumps on me, sit. Okay, let's go. She's just excited. She wants to explore everything with her. No, sit. Sit. Good girl. She wants to explore everything with her mouth and paws right now. As the world is just opening up to her in all sorts of exciting and new ways. Okay, let's go. So exciting in new ways. Okay, let's go. But every day she improves and she gets it. The first day we did this, we didn't get very far up the street. And yesterday, we got all the way to the beach and back. Remember, pressure on the leash, stop. And she also managed to do her poops and pees on the leash. So with a very young puppy, you do this, you're going to come a long way with them if you do this consistently. If you drop what you're doing, you're going to have problems later on. The choice to be able to go forward and do mostly positive training does depend on a good foundation being put on. Let's go. So she is actually getting a correction in that I'm stopping, but it's not harsh or punitive, and it's age appropriate. Alright, now I'm really going to feed her breakfast. Sophie's a little bit pensive about large rigs right there. There she is. So it's good to have her have a handler she trusts. Good girl! And then if she doesn't flip out, there we go. There we are. Whoop. Whoop. Sit. Sit. So these are the types of things also that puppies have to get used to. Construction noise, large trucks, especially if she's going to live in the city. It's very overwhelming for a puppy. There you go. Good girl, Sophie. Good girl. So now that I'm feeding her breakfast, I'll try to video what I'm doing if I can. So there's Sophie. So I hold, you don't want to hold, everyone's inclination is to hold their hand way up here. And that really doesn't help Sophie right now in her training. And also it gets her to jump up like that. So you don't want to do that. Hold your hand down here. It's okay if she presses her nose into your hand. In fact, it's desirable. That's what I got her to do. Start walking correctly. We try to navigate around. So I let her press, but I don't let her get the treats until I'm ready. Sit. Yes. And I usually let her get a small mouthful right there. Okay, let's go. Which will turn into a heel at some point. Right now, actually, that's a good heel, but it's a little bit premature to expect a puppy to be able to maintain that. Good girl. Yeah. Yes! So remember, the yes command is because Sophie doesn't have a stay and we're not expecting her to do a 1 or 3 minute stay right now. Alright, good girl. See, these are the kind of things you can't plan for when you're training. You try to, make your training so that you can run into them. But the oil truck's going to be there when the oil truck's going to be there. But it's good. Good practice for Sophie. Okay, let's go. So now the food's gone. The ocean's right down there, as Sophie has discovered. And you don't go forward until loose or sitting Sophie. So she gets it up. See, she pulls forward, she gets excited, we stop. We go. Pulls forward, gets excited, we stop. So the point is, we're never going to get there until Sophie slacken the leash. So clearly you need to be committed to your training and committed to the fact that you need patience to do this. So if I was hoping to get down to the beach for my cup of coffee and I would take it out on Sophie, that wouldn't work too well for her. The training period is all about the dog and never about the human. Except, we're training the dog for the human, but it's all about having long-term success with the dog and having a training plan that drives forward successfully. Up. Good girl. Oh. Good girl. And as she grows, different things are going to change that she becomes more distracted by or interested in. Sophie, like right now, she's interested in that leaf. Look at her. She's prey driven. So these are the typical things you have to get puppy past. Nope. She's too forward for me to move forward yet. There we go. Let's go. Nope. So if she lags a little, I would go forward faster. Unless she needs to poop or pee. Right now it's just, so lagging means that the dog drops behind a little bit. And foraging means the dog goes forward too much. Be sure puppy doesn't try to cross in front of you when a car comes. Girl. She has shown interest in chasing them. So it's a good time to get her to get rid of that notion in her little puppy brain. And it's just that she's a puppy and things are fun to chase. All typical, like I said. Some puppies don't have a prey drive, other puppies do have a prey drive. They're all different. But they all have definite normal things that we see in puppies that we don't want in a grown adult dog. And we want to get the puppy to recognize that fact sooner than later. Make it easiest on us. When you start with a nice young puppy like that, that's the advantage. Is that as long as you're consistent, can do a lot. If you get a puppy that's older, that's been chasing cars for years, it's a lot tougher to get them out of that, and it takes a lot more physical effort on the part of the owner or the trainer to do that. With the puppy, they're only like 10, 20 pounds right now. It's a lot easier. But, like I said, you have to be consistent. That means each and every time. You don't just give up because you get tired of it. It's important to drive her forward. So now there's someone coming. She's very interested. And there's a car behind us. Go forward. And I've learned to use these periods where I need to stop to just enjoy the quiet in my head for a little bit. I don't often get that during the day with so many dogs over. So when I'm training, I get to enjoy just a little bit of downtime just because I have to. We're going to go down a different road today. Just two. Get her used to as many different things. So far that path is one that we've already gone down before. We haven't gone down this road before. So me and Sophie are right now forging a partnership. My job is to keep her safe, exercise and adventure, and her job is to make that easy on her. Because she doesn't completely know her job yet, and that's okay. That's what we're teaching her. And she's learning, as you can see. Up. Stop. Good girl. Good girl, Sophs. Now, the first time we did that, taking a step was difficult. You know, so you're never going to get to where you want that particular day, that particular hour, but the next day, you'll start to get where you want. And it may only be 10 steps at a time at that point. Sophie, this side, please. Nope. And a leaf.